Today is really excited to have Globey from Davinci. Can you tell us something about Davinci to start?
Yeah, absolutely. Davinci was and is the premier NFT platform on Harmony Protocol. It's community run, DAO driven, and it is one of the best ways for someone to get involved using the platform, using Harmony, and to see all the benefits of the ecosystem, kind of combined all at once.
Exactly. It's really getting lots of artists on board already, thousands of them, and many people really even producing daily. Can you tell us some of the things happening at Davinci now? What are some of the artists and some of the work that you guys are doing?
Sure. Some of our original artists like Johnny Lemessier, Code Warrior, Bruno Marshall have established kind of a base level of excellence that they've grown organic audiences from day one, where we started with 15 to 20 artists earlier this year, and now we have over 3,000, pushing up to 4,000 now.
It's crazy.
Selling 40,000 NFTs, approaching $2 million in sales.
Yeah.
And the growth is completely driven by the community. So having those people come in and be sort of leaders within the community themselves has empowered more people to take their own steps up. So we see people coming in and creating their own brand identities,
for sure,
their own user identities, and having that on-chain is one of the most freeing things for a lot of people, especially when the network congestions and technical problems you see on other layer ones get out of the way. And it allows you to just be creative.
It's amazing. Yeah, the most incredible thing, even at Denver this time, is people actually heard about Davinci and NFT through you guys before they heard about Harmony. It's really empowering that it's about the community and artists that drive the usage, right? Can you tell us about how your personal journey getting into Davinci?
Yeah, absolutely. And my first thought was I got introduced to NFTs late last year, and that was my introduction into cryptocurrency in general, blockchain technology. Was not a background in tech. I did photography as a hobby.
Cool.
While growing up and traveling, taking pictures here and there. It turned into a little bit more of an obsession as I got older. But there was never really a thought that says, for me, and I think a lot of other people, that I could take that into a public venue or a gallery and ever have a chance of making that something that I could share with other people or build a community around, let alone build a brand around. So exploring OpenSea and platforms like that on other networks, for someone who was fresh out of college, there is no entry point for someone like that. It's just impossible. You can't afford to. So I started looking around just to see if there was any alternatives. And Davinci was launching, getting ready to launch, and there was already kind of talks about that on the internet, that Harmony was sort of redefining how NFTs were going to be done. There had been some other small projects launched on Harmony previously, and then we have this mainline marketplace coming online. And first day in the door, I'm there, I'm happy, I'm excited. I mint my first NFT, and it cost me under a penny. And that changed my whole thought process of what could be done in the space. What at that point we didn't have a community. So we had great technology, but the human interaction wasn't there yet.
Absolutely.
So combined with a few other people early on, we started interacting and kind of building a community organically just by being there for each other, figuring out solutions together. And then as new people came on board, we just added on as we went along, which worked its way into where we are now.
It's amazing how not just starting small, but you are so early believing that this project will take off, starting with the community first, now that you really oversee many of the features and initiative. Now that Davinci also launched the token, but also thinking about DAO, can you tell us what will be the features coming and how this DAO of Davinci will drive the roadmap?
Sure. I think the DAO is a natural evolution of bringing the community on-chain to have not just a say in a Telegram forum or a Discord or a Slack channel, but to say that they have an actual representation, a share of the platform in the Vinci token. So for features, there are a lot oncoming, but the primary one that excites me the most is the fact that as a community member, I have a share and a say in how features are developed.
Yep.
So that allows the platform itself to grow and pivot as the space does. Whereas a lot of private companies and things like that, they may have a lot of red tape that doesn't allow their community members to really have that say.
Exactly.
So with the Vinci token being the primary governance token of the DAO, there's 100% anybody who comes on can have just as much say as someone who's been there since day one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's pretty groundbreaking.
It really set the difference to hear the community voice being a DAO, community-driven initiatives. What are the exciting features that you want to keep driving coming weeks?
Well, the big things coming in for the DAO specifically is going ahead and getting that on-chain data ready so that our community members can vote using Snapshot and using the tools that Harmony's already provided for their other DAOs that we're setting up. So being able to take those online, on-chain, and use the Vinci token to start voting on proposals and start getting those implemented and starting getting those updates rolled out is the most exciting thing because it allows everyone to grow the platform so much quicker than what we've been able to scale so far.
Exactly.
And that's exponential growth.
Yeah, it's already seeing that, right? So coming to Denver, there are lots of talks about DAO, but there's actually just as much NFT people here.
Sure.
In a year, what do you think the NFT that you actually wish the whole blockchain industry, if not like Da Vinci, be part of it, to really enable and achieve as a goal? Like looking forward in a year, what do you think that we can achieve together?
I think the interoperability and just the synergy across chains. So where I may get my start on Da Vinci, I am able to take my virtual identity, my digital identity that's on-chain through the use of our DAOs, through the use of on-chain voting, through the use of things like Crazy.1, and be able to exist in that identity here on Ethereum, on a Polygon or a Matic, and be the same person, the same brand, the same identity, no matter where it is. And I think the digital identity really over the next 12 months is going to be probably, in my opinion at least, where I'd like to see the most growth come.
Yeah.
Because it's very sectionalized right now.
Yeah.
I am Globey NFT on Harmony, but that doesn't necessarily translate across to another network right now.
That's really the right vision. The cross-chain NFT, but then the broader is, what is your digital identity across all these platforms? And thinking about not just about an asset, but your reputation throughout your time and different projects, different DAOs, is really, we're so early in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's very organic to think of the concept as being able to have a proof on chain that I spent time working with you today here, having this discussion.
Yeah.
And for someone in the future to come back and say, hey, look at this, without necessarily even knowing that this video exists. Being able to say, hey, this happened, so I could look towards either one of these people for what I may need in the future.
Totally. So the last question would be, how can Harmony be helpful to Da Vinci, the project?
Sure. I think it's 100% about engagement.
Yeah.
It's engaging not only the broader NFT community as the initiatives that have been rolled out, and I think that was a great exponential growth accelerant to say that Harmony itself is going to push for $13 million towards NFTs to bring more eyes and focus to the value prospect that we have on Harmony. And I think just continuing discussions, through our social media channels, through the community channels that we do have, and through our partners, to really just continue to give the visibility, because the vision sells itself.
Yeah.
It is really just about getting that message to as many people as possible.
I think so, and we'll grow together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Globey.
Yeah, thank you.